Enlightened nature. I'm Amanda Delisle. I'm the gift psychic. I'm currently running Metaphysical Store, Winds of Change.
And I'm Bea Wolf-Ray. I'm an astrologer with Earth Matrix.
He's just been telling me there's a lot of different aspects of Virgo. You don't just need to be born in September to have an interest in Virgo qualities.
That's right. Virgo is one of the 12 principles, and we all have Virgo somewhere. It doesn't matter when we were born. Everybody has a part of themselves that vibrates to the Virgo frequency. And people who have the sun in Virgo have a stronger emphasis on Virgo than someone who has a sun in Libra, for example. But there are also other ways. You could have Virgo rising, you could have a Virgo moon, you could have a lot of Virgo planets, or you could have a lot of planets in the 6th house or aspecting Chiron, the ruler of Virgo, or Mercury. So there's a lot of ways. It's quite complex. It's like a complicated piece of music, really, the birth chart.
So what's the 6th house rule? Why is that?
Well, every principle, every sign that is associated with the principle has a sign, Virgo, a house, and a planet associated with them.
Okay.
In the Earth Matrix system, I use 12 planets, 12 signs, 12 houses.
Okay.
And for Virgo, I use Barbara Hand-Clow's system of assigning the rulership of Virgo to Chiron. And I find that over 25 years, I found that to work very, very well. And I personally have Virgo rising, so I have a strong affinity for Virgo.
Yeah.
And so looking at the Virgo principle, I look at what's going on with the 6th house, what's going on with the planet Chiron, what that force is connected with, and what's going on with planets in the sign Virgo, and also what house cusps have Virgo on them. So there's a lot of layers to look at.
One of the most interesting, less publicized qualities about Virgo.
Well, that's a really great question, because Virgo is one of the least understood signs of all the 12 principles, because most astrology books will focus on Virgo's orderliness and how organized they are, maybe a little bit on the direction of OCD-ish, a little perfectionistic. But really, Virgo is the mutable earth sign. And I like to always look at the element and the mode, because that says to me that one is the earth sign, it's about the physical world, it's the real actual stuff of existence. And it's mutable, which means it's changeable. And that suggests alchemy. And that is one of the qualities of Chiron that Barbara Hand-Clow writes about in her book about Chiron. That it is the alchemist, the sacred alchemist. So Virgo people have the capability to offer themselves up in sacred service, and through that sacred service, they transform their own lives as a byproduct of serving a higher principle, a higher power. But it's always a very grounded thing. Like a Virgo can wash the dishes and make that a sacred act.
Yeah.
Through their impeccable awareness of their orientation in space, their body sensations, what they're doing, their feelings of just how good it feels to take care of your physical world. Virgo's really is, when you pare it right down, Virgo is quantum existence. The tiny particles that combine to create the illusion of physical form. And Virgo is very much aware of how elusive physical form is. And that's why they're so uptight, because it could all fall apart any second if they don't manage it properly. It's stressful, because then you feel responsible for maintaining it. And when things break down, you feel like it's your fault. And that's the Virgo pitfall, because you feel like responsible for the entire existence of
everybody and everything. Yeah, wow.
But it's really possible to relax and surrender into the perfection that is with the physical world, because we're actually not responsible for maintaining it. It's going to happen whether we're
going to be here.
That's right.
Which is, I know I'm Gemini, and I'm not very much present in my body, so I'm learning that right now.
Yeah, that's right. It's
Yeah.
I'm quite tuned into Virgo with my Virgo ascendant, and it helps me to understand my own physical tension. Like I cannot ever fully relax my body because there's this dynamic tension always somewhere. But what I can do is to surrender to it and let it dance and move, and movement is an important, very crucial thing for Virgos to do because it's mutable earth. We have to allow our physical form to remain in motion and to change and to be adaptable.